we had the middleweight championship title fight, Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Very, to me, similar to the first fight, except much wider this time. I say similar to the first fight, Strickland fought the same exact fight, right? He kind of stayed behind the jab in the 1-2, and this time much wider because Du Plessis, to me, showed more and did more damage with his just large toolbox and arsenal of kicks, elbows, punches. Very one-sided. I was a little disappointed by Sean Strickland, but credit to Dricus. What'd you think of the fight? What'd you think of his performance?
I think there's a reason why it was wider. I've said this. I think I was the first one who put it out there. Now everybody's jumping on it. Everybody's talking about it. But I wasn't the first one to come up with this idea. I was just the first one to put it out there in the modern era where people hadn't heard it. The old timers, Customato, they always told me that winning a title makes you 30% better. Because we always talk, 75% is this, the mind part. So it makes the mind stronger, makes it better, makes it more confident. It lets you know things you didn't know before you won the title, that you could depend on yourself in waters, in areas that you didn't know if you could. So I think that showed. Du Plessis was better. Strickland, listen, Strickland, I love Strickland. I love what he's done for the sport. You know, he's a great promoter, even though he says things some people don't like. I think he's matured. I think he's mellowed a little with some of that. He knows what he's doing. He's smart. He's cerebral. He's tough, like most of these guys. He's got a tremendous jab. He lives and dies by the sword. And sometimes you live and die by the sword, which in this case was the jab, and that sword is not there for you, you die, you know, on that sword. And his strength, Strickland's strength, is his weakness. His strength is to be cold, calculating. He doesn't waste anything. He's definitive. He's a surgeon. He's conservative. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't get over anxious. He doesn't help you by getting over anxious, by doing something that gives you opportunities to capitalize on that over anxiousness, on those mistakes. That's what made him champion. That he's so buttoned up. He doesn't waste anything. You know, that made him champ. That he's good with the jab, that he controls you. He stays in his neighborhood of what his neighborhood is, of what he's good at. That's also what hurt him in these last two fights, is that he is so conservative. He doesn't waste anything. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't take the chances to make those mistakes in those kind of ways. So you can out-hustle him sometimes. You can sometimes outwork him. He leaves an opportunity to be out-hustled, just outworked a little bit. I mean, for the most part, he's going to get the better of most guys because he is that accurate with his punches. He is that cerebral. He is that definitive. But then there are guys that are going to match that or come close to it and also do a little more of it, be a little busier, and go outside that realm and be more creative. That's Du Plessis. He went outside that realm. He mixed in kicks. He mixed in takedowns. He mixed in switching from righty to lefty. He gave you more stuff. I'm being real simple here today. Real simple. He gave you more stuff. And it was good stuff. He is really the example of why you hear that saying, bud, you can't judge a book by its cover. Because you look at him, you say, well, what's he doing? What's he doing? He's big, he's strong. I get it. By the way, he looked like he was in great shape, his body. But he's big, he's strong. But what's he doing? I don't see it. I don't see it. Well, the opponent sees it. The opponent feels it. He's better than he looks. Yeah, he's big and strong. Yeah, he's well-rounded. That's the thing. And yeah, he's smarter than you think he is. He is doing little subtle things in there to go and supplement his big and strong parts of what he is. So at the end of the day, you know, he mixed it up more. He was busier. He understood. Du Plessis understood he couldn't get beat by the jab. That no matter how I lose, if I lose, he didn't think he was going to lose. He's the champ now. He's 30% better. But no matter what, he ain't beating me with the jab. So he made sure, lefty and righty, he threw enough jabs. He did not allow himself to be dominated by the jab. And Strickland, again, going back to him, I love him, but going back to him, he set the table with the jab, but he didn't eat enough with the right hand. And I got to give his corner credit late in the fight. They were great. They had two guys, but the first guy, he was
Eric
great.
Nissick. Yeah.
But he was great. He was honest. He was strong. He no BS. Trying to be friends and try not hurt his feelings. I don't want to get fired. I want to be nice. Yeah. And this ain't a nice game. This is fighting. You haven't noticed elbows, kicks, broken noses? No, I got to tell you, you ain't doing enough. And he did. But he not only got a fire under his freaking backside, not only did he tell him the truth, which I don't think Strickland loved it, but it's okay. The truth is important. At the end, you will love it because it will give you a better chance to win. He not only told him the truth, he gave him ideas of what to do. Not just, he told him what to do. He said, if I remember correctly, he said, you got to stop just picking stuff off and then coming back. That ain't working. You got to start to intercept some of his stuff. And now I'm going to translate that for the people that might not have understood what he meant by that. I understood exactly what he meant. You got to intercept that stuff and give something back. In between, what he meant was you got to punch with him. That's what he meant. You got to intercept something. You can't just sit back and block and then come back because Du Plessis ain't playing that game. You ain't gonna control him that way. It ain't working. He's better than that. That's what I mean. You can't judge a book by the guy. He's better than that. So what you got to do is when he's throwing, bop, 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 throw right with him. That's your only chance of catching him cold because you got to catch him cold now because you're behind. That was great. That was great. I love that. I love that. So at the end of the day, he fought with a broken nose. It looks like it was broken anyway from what it seemed to be. Give him a lot of credit. Give him a lot of credit for that. Showed a lot of heart. But again, what has made him great has now, at this time, has failed him a little bit because there wasn't another, I'd make it even simpler, there wasn't another gear to go to because that's his gear. To be cerebral, to be real calm in an uncalm environment and do just what he has to do. But with this guy, you had to go beyond that. That's it. That's enough. That's it.